Oh, you're live now. You're live now.
5 minutes goes by way fast. All right, put your mute.
Do we hit mute on Michael's?
I'm right here.
Can you mute?
I can mute.
Oh my God.
We missed the 5-minute mark.
Oh my Lord.
By how many minutes?
5 minutes goes by way too fast.
Hooray!
We set the 5-minute timer and then we went and got we turned this off. Oh my good Lord.
I was like, are we?
There's sirens going on. There's all kinds of stuff. Craziness. All right, we made it though.
Very happy with my background. Dias.
Look at your
Dias
background. Joe Dias. I don't know why I said that today.
I like it.
Joe Dias Clark.
Say that to me when you're mad at me, so I know.
Oh, Joe Dias.
Oh. I
hear that.
Not.
Oh my goodness. I didn't get to show this off last night, but check this out. Huh.
Oh.
I know it. At first, that looks a little suspect, right? When you're like this, oh my gosh, but it's actually one of those things.
I would say that is a toy that I will not be buying.
Printed by Mr. Michael, actually, on
it's pretty darn 3D cute. Printer. It's supposed to be, I think, a coat hook.
Oh, yes.
All right.
No.
It's supposed to be art.
It's like a cosplay piece for a costume.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you like, yeah, you could like have it on a costume if you're like,
okay,
you know,
yeah,
want to pretend like you've got a thing coming out of your stomach, like an alien. It's the movie Aliens, right?
Michael, I like how your microphone
xenomorph
top is black and your shirt is orange.
Yes,
and your microphone is orange. Your shirt is black. I like it.
Yes,
yes, it's quite cool.
Did you see the Carmine on Carmine piece?
I did.
Yes.
Carmine showed it to me specifically because Carmine was unhappy that I had not seen it yet. Hard of living with Carmine sometimes.
Oh, I can only imagine what living with Carmine is like. Oh my God.
Rage is brought to you by Pepsi.
Yes. Oh, and Pepsi with real sugar.
Yeah, we got our prefs in here.
Yeah, I know. These
yeah,
folks
I'm not
like
the type.
These folks like their high fructose corn syrup. They grew up on high fructose corn syrup.
I actually have been called out by the children. I've been teaching.
We're Costco shoppers
all week, and so yeah, I was a child of the '80s, and my mother was a military wife, a mother of 4, and so we were all allowed to have a soda a day. That in the summertime, that was the rule: a soda a day,
but no caffeine.
And so, hey, stop hijacking my story. So we would go to the commissary and we would get the Shasta grape cola, you know,
right?
What were the? We never got the caffeine. He's right. We never got the caffeine one, so it was like root beer and whatnot. And I remember those days. But then, today I was telling the children, it's like, oh no, I forgot my water. I have to drink my soda early, and they're like, don't soda, Miss Jude. I'm like, I was of the age. It was. It's like smoking now. It's like. My drinking a soda pop is like smoking back in the day. It offends the children. I'm like, it's okay. I'm choosing to hurt my body.
I'm allowed to have soda, darn it. If I want soda, I'll have soda, and you can't do anything about it.
Right. It was but they care. They care.
No, I know. They
But yeah, they're what was it? Yeah.
So these kids have no interest in vices, right? Smoking's down, drinking soda's down. This is like one of the most boringest generations ever.
The alpha group is like, good.
They legalized weed and now they're not interested.
Yeah, they don't want to smoke weed. They don't want to do drugs. They don't want to party.
All of their parents do that.
They just go home and do their homework and say their prayers and
join Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts. It's no. I've had so today I got to doing stage combat for our show, and it's so good. But yeah, we got to do stage combat.
How good is it?
It was so good. Oh, shucks. It was a good day.
Yeah, I got to go drive around on the Kenai Peninsula in a 6-wheeler today.
Okay, that was not my day.
Only got stuck in the mud once, and it was right at the end of our ride.
Your wife save you?
No.
Oh, she was.
Cat was not there.
I
It was,
just
it was
assumed that
actually
you just had
for
to call
work.
her and she'd pick you up.
No, it
See?
was actually for work. We're going to look at a project, and so
Oh, you
To
got paid to do that. That's
do that,
nice.
we had to go drive around in the woods in a 6-wheeler. And like I said, very end of the day, last thing that we're looking at, and we decided to go in a mud hole that's way too big that we didn't realize was so big. And then water is like seeping into the 6-wheeler. My buddy's got a little dachshund, little wiener dog that was with us. Well, of course, the wiener dog fell off the seat into the puddle on the floor, got all muddy, bouncing all over the cab. It was
Nobody likes a dirty wiener.
it was hilarious. That was a really dirty wiener today. I'm telling you.
Did you guys see any animals?
You know, we thought we saw an animal, and it turned out to be a barrel. So no, we
A
did not.
barrel.
Well, actually, we did see what looked like a bear cub
Oh,
on the road, and then it disappeared when we got up close to it. So we're like, is that a bear? It's like, yeah, that looks like a bear. It looked like a bear cub. And, yeah.
we had an exciting thing happen this week on that note, didn't we, Michael?
Yeah, I was working late here at the shop, and I came home and I noticed some rude knucklehead just went and strewn my trash can all over my driveway.
Like they opened it up too and spread it everywhere.
I know. So I checked the cameras, and lo and behold, I found this juvenile delinquent just came scurrying up and dug through it, and
His
you know,
eyes got caught on the
yeah,
camera.
little black teddy bear
Little black
right in the
teddy.
middle of our neighborhood.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's the thing about living. Well, anywhere, right? Because
Right.
anywhere has nature, and nature has animals, and animals kind of have the right to be here.
Most neighborhoods in this country don't have black bears.
Okay,
No.
so no, but what I'm saying is we have nature in our city,
Yeah.
and that has bears. So the fact that a bear could go into the Midtown Walmart isn't that surprising.
Yeah.
It is when it happens, or like a moose walking into Office Depot because of the sliding doors, right? Those things happen. Or when the bear goes into the grocery store and is rumdling around in the
And
produce.
cross contaminates every food item because it's just in the deli.
We have a chicken eating bear in our neighborhood.
Oh, neat.
Oh yeah. It likes to
Do you have any
eat,
chickens left?
We do, but we heard a shot the other night, so we're wondering if it was taken care of or not. But yeah,
How do you
it
get rid
likes
of the
to get
bear?
in chicken coops. And what's that?
How do you get rid of the bear? When you shoot the bear, what do you do?
You dig a hole and shut the hell up.
Oh,
Well, that depends on if you're still in the muni as far as the firearms rules go, and if they're in season.
Well,
and
remember
it's
how they have that rule about if a moose dies on your property,
yeah,
that's
but
your
it doesn't.
problem.
But that's a bigger problem if you actually caused the moose to die on your property.
Yeah, it's a whole
Oh.
that's a whole gray area.
If it just
Oh,
dies of old
area.
age.
Yeah, that's a
Died
whole
of a heart
gray
attack.
area.
And I can tell you, if you have any enemies, nothing says I hate you like a dead animal in the swimming pool. And the larger the animal, the better. It's like you call the zoo, see if they'll give you their next dead elephant, and
Oh,
who would you call? Sorry, there's an elephant in my pool.
Did you deserve
Enjoy
that?
it.
Right.
That'd be my next question. Did you deserve that? What did you do that caused
There
that?
is you can just barely see the wiener dog right there.
Oh,
but
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, is
you
this
can
your?
see the mud floor there.
Oh man!
And you
Oh,
can see the mud on the windshield there. That was exciting.
oh, that poor dog. Daddy, this was not a
What
fun
is
day.
up?
Oh, tough.
Oh man, what a crazy week.
I don't even believe this week. This week has
This
been.
week is nuts. So,
Ah,
but you probably didn't watch much of the Republican National Convention.
I don't think I saw a lick of nothing.
And we watched the thing last night, but
Right.
I thought the highlight of the entire week was former President Trump's 17-year-old granddaughter decided she wanted to talk about her granddad at the thing. And she did a phenomenal job of talking about her grandfather. So it's like 3 minutes long. And so I figured we would start with this really cool tribute from a granddaughter. Let's take a peek at this real quick.
And don't say anything.
Yeah, right?
Here.
Well, she doesn't look like she doesn't have money.
Well, yeah. You think?
Doesn't look like us.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kai Madison Trump.
That's
I am
not the voice I was
granddaughter of
expecting.
Donald Trump. I'm speaking today to share the side of my grandpa that people don't often see. To me, he's just a normal grandpa. He gives us candy and soda when our parents aren't looking. He always wants to know how we're doing in school. When I made the high honor roll, he printed it out to show his friends how proud he was of me. I know.
That's normal.
He calls me during the middle of the school day to ask how my golf game is going and tells me all about his. But then I have to remind him that I'm in school and I'll have to call him back later. When we play golf together, if I'm not on his team, he'll try to get inside of my head. I know. And he's always surprised that I don't let him get to me. But I have to remind him, I'm a Trump too.
Oh yeah, Patty. I got some crowd strike stuff
Even
that's
when
gonna
he's
blow your
going through
mind.
all these court cases, he always asks me how I'm doing. He always encourages me to push myself to be the most successful person I can be. Obviously, he sets the bar pretty high, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll catch him.
She's got no problem public speaking.
On Saturday,
No, she's
I
pretty
was shocked
confident.
when I heard that he has been shot, and I just wanted to know if he was okay. It was heartbreaking that someone would do that to another person. A lot of people have put my grandpa through hell, and he's still standing. Grandpa, you are such an inspiration, and I love you. The media makes my grandpa seem like a different person, but I know him for who he is. He's very caring and loving. He truly wants the best for this country, and he will fight every single day to make America great again. Thank you very much.
Pretty cool from a 17-year-old.
That's very nice.
Isn't that cool? I thought of all the things that was really cool. But yeah, her accent is interesting.
Yeah.
Like it's
It didn't match the body. That's what I was saying too.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're I think they live in Florida. But
She also might possibly have a speech impediment on her side.
Well, she might be 17 and still growing into herself.
Oh,
True.
look how you guys rushed to her side. Poor
Well,
17-year-old Trump girl.
Well, no,
The world's hurting
I was
you.
saying, no, maybe she's still, a little nasal. And,
Sure, she might be
Right.
sick. She might have had just dental stuff or whatever. But yeah, it was just the voice didn't match so much, perchance.
yeah, I'm just
Well,
saying
that
she
was
could
just
be
a
growing into her
reflection.
a
septum.
little deeper voice than you'd expect, right?
Right,
Just a
right,
kind of
right.
a
I think
little
that's what
deeper
it was
voice
the
than I would
deeper.
Respect, yeah.
Well, I'm a bass when I'm sick. Hello.
Are you really?
Hello.
Hello.
right,
Hello. Can you go?
Hello, can you go?
I go
What's your
pretty
man
low.
voice?
I'm actually tenor. I'm a tenor. Like singing, I would be.
No,
a
I
tenor.
meant like if you were like Michael. What's your normally?
deep molasses.
Does
Oh
it
my
really?
goodness.
Michael's one of the few guys that people have noted, and I saw this too. He always raises his voice higher when he says his name, rather than deepens it. And because he's already so tall and so intimidating that a deeper voice wouldn't help that. So a nice light voice is what I like about Michael. It's less intimidating. But a lot of men usually have lower, when they're introducing themselves, just a lower voice on them.
Hi, I'm Frank.
I'm Frank and I'm mad about it.
Yeah.
So
I never thought about it. Yeah. Never really noticed.
Well, hooray for you.
I'll be
So
practicing
last
from the mirror all
night-
night. Hi, I'm Michael. Hi, I'm Michael. Hi, I'm Michael.
while Trump was giving his speech last night.
Okay, so last night.
Yeah, last
Okay,
night,
last night.
9:00 our time, 1:00
Breaking news.
midnight, 1:00 on the East Coast.
Okay.
This company called CrowdStrike. Interesting history, but so CrowdStrike is a large data security firm. I don't know if
Okay.
you heard about this or not. So they are on a enterprise level. An enterprise level means they deal with very large business customers, right? Top like Fortune 500 companies.
So
Okay,
not Rethink Home.
they are not Rethink Home.
Not yet.
They are a little bit bigger. They have a little bit bigger footprint. Okay.
Just bigger investors.
All right.
So while President Trump was speaking, they released a update to their software. The normal update that goes out to millions of computers worldwide.
Okay.
Well, this update caused basically every computer that got the update that was working to have you've seen when your computer crashes and it's got that blue screen that says recovery, right?
Blue screen of death?
Yes.
Okay.
You've gotten that before, right? On your computer?
I don't think so.
You've never gotten a blue screen on your computer.
No?
Something that looks like this. Here, let me. Second. All right. So something that looks like that, maybe you've never seen that.
Not personally,
Like in
but
the initial
sure.
boot stage?
Like that. That
Yeah.
doesn't ring a bell to you
No,
ever.
it's never happened to me, but I could understand it.
I'm shocked.
On older
that's more like the
computers,
shocking thing
I
I've
would
ever
see
seen.
that on older computers. I would see that usually with some sort of line about it wasn't shut down properly last time and
Right.
checking for
exactly.
updates or some sort
I've
of
seen
thing.
that, I think.
Checking for errors. Yeah.
Okay, so every computer that was on when it got this update crashed. It went to the blue screen. Every single computer that had this.
Was that intentional?
That is a good question. So let's look at some of the outcomes
The
though.
heck is that?
This
Those are error.
is
Those
this
are planes.
Delta.
That's a lot.
Okay, so this is Delta, American, and United plane traffic after the blue screen of death happened last night. This is what it started out with.
Oh my gosh.
And then as everything crashed, this is what we ended up with. Because
We had to land everybody.
they had to ground all of the planes.
Oh, how annoying.
Yes. It also affected the market in India. So worldwide company has security for millions of computers around the world, sends out an update, and it crashed all of those computers.
All during Trump's speech.
Well, and then afterwards, because the fix is you have to go individually to those computers or the server that's connected to it and
Right.
manually perform a thing where you have to go in and reboot the computer and delete a program and reboot the computer again. Takes a couple minutes, but you got to figure that's a couple million minutes
Yeah.
that you have to go and do that.
So what was the purpose if that was sabotage? Who and why?
It was said that it was a harmless mistake.
I don't believe in those anymore. I don't believe in that.
But
I think
let's-
everything's intentioned.
Patty says that the only airline that was able to continue to fly or function was Southwest, but that's because they fly on DOS. Southwest hasn't gone to Windows yet.
Yeah, right.
Keep it up.
Yeah, they have a basic run.
They have C prompt, yeah. Fly.
Okay, so who was CrowdStrike? Does
Like,
that
right, who-
ring
who-
a bell to you?
No.
I've heard them. I haven't researched them or anything.
Okay, so let's look at this.
Let's have a group study.
Gonna say
Crowd.
if it was anything about Shakespeare or
Oh no.
stage combat, I might know, but
So back in 2015, you might have remembered a little thing about Hillary Clinton, and she had a server. Remember, she had her own email server.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was in the news.
Yeah. So guess who the company that the Clinton campaign hired to take the server and do all the research on it?
Who?
CrowdStrike.
You don't say.
Oh.
Yeah. They
I do say.
also claimed that the server was hacked by Russia and that Trump was dealing with Russia. And so basically CrowdStrike was the original Russia Gate company.
So we sue them.
So who is the CrowdStrike president and chief security officer? Well, he served
Mr.
as
Clean?
he served as the executive assistant director of the FBI under Obama and Biden during their administration.
This is very incestuous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now he's the chief security officer and president of CrowdStrike since he retired from the FBI in 2012.
Oh my God. Making it
They-
hard to live.
They still run on Windows 3.1 some friggin' how. Oh my God, Windows 3.1. Yes. So, I mean, yes, you are correct. Are there really any coincidences anymore?
It's
Yeah.
too saturated.
I mean, it's yeah, I mean,
And for as much as it's out in the open, people get away with.
the same company that started the whole Russia thing in 2015. The same company on the night that, that Donald Trump accepts the nomination for president of the candidate of the Republican
Well, they're
Party.
also showing their power, aren't
the
they?
day, a couple of days after somebody tries to assassinate him, it just so happens that this company causes the largest IT outage in the history of IT. I mean, this is the largest
but-
IT outage in the history of IT outages.
What was the harm besides lost time?
I was about to say, like, did they recover? What was the damage done?
Millions of dollars of damage, millions of dollars in productivity lost, millions of
Oh.
flights canceled.
Okay.
People are still waiting to get their flights canceled.
So they showed what they could do.
The stock market had a really, really bad day today.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
they're showing their power.
Yes, there was actual harm done by this.
Okay.
There was actual harm done. And there are people that probably won't. I mean, like airports in India. Airports all over the world crashed. In Australia, India,
that means people
Asia,
died.
New York
No,
City.
the aircraft didn't crash. The airport.
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was like,
I
that
caught that too.
that
Absolutely.
ups the ante quite a bit.
Yeah, banks couldn't. I tried to make a payment last night on a credit card, and I couldn't do that.
When is somebody going to fight club the banks?
Right?
That's not going to happen anymore because it's all in the cloud.
Yeah, no, correct, Patty. Makes sense. Hospitals went down, so it was an absolute madness at our local hospital, and heard about all over the world. Hospitals.
Okay,
went
then
down.
that tells me that probably people have died during this kind of pandemonium type of thing.
No,
Jody,
exactly.
that tells
I mean,
us we don't stay current on current events because I'm getting
tells
this all for the first time as well.
I can't keep current on current events. It's happening too fast.
That's why you have me.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of which, I have to bounce because I have to go to a burlesque show.
7:30 already? Oh my goodness.
Yes, I'm sorry. You're so
No, it's
popular.
all right, you.
All right.
Yeah.
Benji, you're in.
All right, yeah, I was gonna say, Benji, swap in.
Oh gosh. No.
No.
Not yet. Not yet. A little bit later. Give us a little bit. All right. So Jodes is out. Let me just mute her real quick. So don't that accidentally. So yeah, Michael. So fucking
Yeah,
it's just the two of us.
yeah. As I was working last night, I wasn't really online because I was working on stuff not online, really.
No, exactly.
But earlier today,
So-
when I told my friend we'd be live streaming tonight, he says, "You're getting online with all the computer stuff going on?" Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I had no idea what he was talking about. I just figured it was like normal computer stuff.
I didn't, since I went and drove around in a 6-wheeler today, I didn't have to turn my computer on this morning. And thankfully I took it offline and took it home last night. But even in our company, it affected us. It affected my wife's company. It affected the customs. They were all down. I mean, just this is a large, this was what Y2K was supposed to be, right? This is like,
that was planes falling out of the sky and whatnot.
This was Y2K 24 years later. So let's just last thing on this. Here's the CEO of CrowdStrike caused this giant IT outage, and this is their statement. There's no apology. There's no sorry. There's no dang it, we messed up. There's no, as somebody put it earlier, I wish I just saved that. I might have saved that. Somebody even put mistakes were made, but they didn't even say mistakes were made. They just posted this really generic, written by lawyers. Yeah. CrowdStrike is actively working with customers impacted by a defect found in a single content update to Windows hosts. Mac and Linux users' hosts are not impacted. This is not a security incident or a cyber attack. The issue has been identified and the fix has been deployed. Yeah, fix has been deployed, but it's got to be deployed manually because you crashed all the computers. So somebody's got to go in and reboot them all. So yeah. So there was also a funny one. Let me see if I can find it real quick. While this was happening, Sky News went online. Guy from Sky News went online and was showing their screens. So you know how they've got those big screens in the studio to show everything.
24 of them or something.
Yeah. He's showing it. Find this real quick.
Just a sea of blue.
Yeah.
24/7.
Oh, hang on. This is kind of cool. So he's in his studio. He's on an iPhone, probably.
We've got a huge unfolding story in Australia and right around the world, but we can't bring it to you in the normal way. Why? It's affecting us at Sky News, at Foxtel, many customers, many users, many businesses. What's happened is we believe a malware company called CrowdStrike has essentially... Now,
he just called him a malware company. I would totally agree with that. That was malware.
Have a look at our studio here. This is what it looks like.
This is great.
Now, technical operators call this the BSOD, the BSOD, the blue screen of death. People are loading, systems are crashing. They're loading again and again and again. It's on a loop. So many companies are unable to work right now, including Sky News. Now, it's effective.
I just like this whole thing is great. You see, it's all over their studios, everything that's a computer, just completely.
Along with green screen, you'd use blue, so someone could have had a lot of fun with this.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. Originally, they used blue before they found out green worked better, or actually, blues were a lot more common than greens were.
No, exactly, and no, you're right, Patty. They're not taking enough accountability. There's no accountability. They're just saying, oops. They're not even saying oops. They're just saying,
Well, what entity in this world is there to put them in the corner?
Correct. Yeah, exactly. Because yeah. No, that's a good point. That is a good point. No, exactly. I mean, it's just there's no
Okay.
way that the same company,
Not yet.
the same company that was involved in all that, just all of a sudden takes the news away from, you know, from last night and the last few days, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, there's just
That's pretty bad,
what,
though.
From what I've learned too, is this was a really, really easy thing to detect because the language that they write in has certain tests that you do. And when you write this program, because they're a cybersecurity company, because of the nature of their software, they have a lot more access to Windows machines than a normal program would, right? Because they're actually looking for malware. And so this software, the defect in it was pointing to a certain place in memory that is a known problem when you point to this. Basically, it's pointing to nowhere. It's pointing to somewhere that doesn't exist in the memory. And so when you have something that points to this place in memory in Windows, it does this.
The computer just throws its hands up and says, I don't know.
The computer says, I don't know. And so supposedly that's pretty easy to detect.
Well,
but they didn't. And so I don't know.
So it's a defect or an error in the code, something like that. And this is an update that they were doing. I'm not an IT guy, but I can't imagine you send out an update worldwide without, like testing it, not worldwide first.
No,
see
correct.
If it screws up the home computer.
Absolutely. And they
test it offline before you go online.
They said they did it, but obviously they didn't do enough of it. I thought, and then okay, very, very last thing on this.
Okay.
This is entitled IT People Waking Up This Morning.
Resident Evil.
Okay. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny.
And, it's one thing that, okay, all, Windows 18 or whatever users crashed, but Mac users were fine or something.
Right.
But it seems like they crashed the whole world somehow.
Yes.
That's not a little thing.
No, it's not. And to just say,
well, it worked when we ran beta.
Yeah, right. Okay, so this is another interesting thing. We've had little things leak out about the attempt on President Trump the other day.
I'm taking each one of them with a grain of salt, though.
Okay, so there's this one from the Wall Street Journal. Officials are saying that the gunman who tried to eliminate former President Donald Trump during his rally was able to fly a drone and capture aerial footage of the Western Pennsylvania fairgrounds shortly before the former president was set to speak. So it was able to fly a drone around the area. There is so much nutty stuff coming out about this thing that it's just
18-year-old's got a lot of toys.
I mean, like you said, you got to take a lot of this with a grain of salt, but man, there's just so much weirdness coming out of this.
I mean,
the sloped roof thing, you've seen the sloped roof thing, right?
I think the director was just reaching for anything to just think she's trying to satisfy the cameras.
Right.
And she didn't just realize she was making herself sound stupid.
They couldn't put agents on the roof because its slope created a safety concern, but they had people pointing for 20, 30 minutes. Like there's this guy was captured multiple times by multiple agents doing weird stuff, like using a scope or using a rangefinder before the thing.
Or to say nothing of the fact that the other sniper nests for Secret Service were in position were on sloped roofs.
Yeah, right.
And sloped roofs are not uncommon in this world. So you would figure they would already have some sort of tactic to deal with that.
Correct.
Like cribbing or some sort of wedge or,
and
ankles.
Patty, you are correct too. So there's a letter that was sent by the Senate today. And let me see if I can pull that up. Hang on 1 second. Let's see if I can find it.
You mean that lady that didn't know where her holster was, wasn't Secret Service?
No,
they don't train with those.
Right. Let's see. So basically, the letter said that whistleblowers have come forward, and said, "Let's see. Come on. All right, there we go. I got it. Yay." Okay, hopefully you can see this. If not, let me blow it up a little more. All right, so I write to raise concerns brought to me by whistleblowers about your department's stunning failure to protect former President Trump on July 13th. The Secretary of Homeland Security, you are ultimately responsible for your agency. So this is sent to Alejandro Mayorkas. Whistleblowers who have direct knowledge of the event have approached my office. According to the allegations, July 13th rally was considered to be a loose security event. For example, detection canines were not used to monitor entry, detect threats in the usual manner. Individuals without proper designation were able to gain access to backstage. Department personnel did not appropriately police the security buffer around the podium and were also not stationed at regular intervals around the event security perimeter. In addition, whistleblower allegations suggest the majority of DHS officials were not, in fact, United States Secret Service agents, but instead drawn from the Department of Homeland Security's investigations. Especially concerning given HSI agents are unfamiliar with standard protocols typically used in these type of events. So basically, they pulled off a lot of so what I've heard is that it was either they were a lot of his regular detail of Secret Service agents had been like overworked, like some had worked like 7 days in a row. So they either gave them a day off or they took them to another event that was for the First Lady in Pittsburgh. And so a lot of these folks at this event were not Secret Service agents. They were untrained. They were not trained in VIP protection, basically. Thoughts, Michael?
What we know, former presidents are not entitled to the same amount of protection as the current president is, and that makes some sense, given the responsibilities of the two different things there. But you would think the protectee would be aware that he thinks he has Secret Service protection, but now he's got, substitute Secret Service protection.
Right.
So I'm curious if the protectee was made aware of, a change in plans.
Right. And you're also, he's also a president, right? So that.
Yeah, but.
Well, that should raise the level of protection that you are entitled to, for sure. It absolutely should raise the level. I mean,
sure.
They finally gave RFK some protection now too.
But well after the threat on his life.
Oh my gosh. And
well after.
Here's the issue, is just all of these things. People that can look and see that there is an unprotected roof that's 140 yards away from the event. And how do you not protect that? How do you not see that as something that you need to pay attention to? Basically it. There's a lot of just put your hands up, point fingers, not really give out any actual factual information, just a lot of blustering, a lot of finger pointing, a lot of finger waving and hand waving, but no actual answers. right? Nobody's given
Right.
actual answers to any of this yet. And, you know, that's the frustrating thing about it, is we're not going to get actual answers to this. We're not going to get anybody to take responsibility, right? So that's the screwy part. The whole thing's screwy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just I got all sorts of curious about how an 18-year-old gets so radicalized that he tries something like this, but then
Right.
I sit there and say, well, chances are we're never going to know the truth, because assuming there's a truth to be found, it won't be disclosed. You know, there's Kennedy files on the Kennedy assassination that are still classified.
Right.
The reason the government classifies anything is because if this information fell into the wrong hands, it could cause damage to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how much damage, you know, extreme damage, grave damage is, you know, secret, top secret. But I don't know what the Kennedy's classified. But the thing is, we're the ones it's classified from.
Right.
What damage could be caused?
No, right. Exactly.
60 years later.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it's still classified.
Yeah.
So this letter made me think instantly, oh, that's why the chick couldn't holster her gun.
Yeah.
She
No kidding.
She'd never actually pulled it out.
Surprised it wasn't a red one.
Like, oh, you know, you're going to the Trump rally today. Don't worry about it. He'll get up on stage. It'll be fine. Nothing's gonna happen. You know. So there was also a story going around that there was a person sitting behind Trump that was acting weird in the crowd and didn't actually react like everybody thought she would react to. And then they came out and said, oh, she's a member of the FBI. Well, turns out she wasn't a member of the FBI. So there is some of those things out there that people have to really be careful of what they put on social media. One, because a lot of anything, people are just going to pick up and run with anything people put up on.
Oh yeah.
It's just,
I remember
we're living in that age.
I can't remember if someone actually spoke it or typed it, but a story about how the shooter was Trump's doing just to get him, you know, more attention and whatnot to like booster his campaign. And I'm sitting there, you really think he trusted some 20-year-old? I don't care if he's a champion sharpshooter to whiz a bullet right by my head.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was set up.
Makes total sense.
Like, yeah, no, that's. And he's going to turn. Is going to. You wait until he turns his head this way. Look at the chart, and then whiz one right in his ear.
But it's got to be right away as soon as I turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
and don't practice that.
Yeah, there's been so much. You know, you've got people from the town of Butler that have come out and said, you know, because some of the things are well, you know, it was the local police departments that they're responsible for that roof. And it's like, no, the local police department's got 12 officers and they were all assigned to traffic duty.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a big bustling metropolis, this Butler, Pennsylvania.
No, it's not. So anyway, I'm sure we'll find out more and more about this. So, I mean, all this stuff happening just in such a short amount of time. It's crazy. We haven't even gotten to the fact that 1 minute we're hearing that Joe Biden's going to drop out of the race. The next minute we're hearing he's going to stay and fight.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I'm
thinking like Madness of King George is coming.
The chart, that chart saved him. That he should frame that chart, put it up on his wall, and if he makes it back to the Oval Office, that should be the first thing that gets hung in the Oval Office is that damn chart.
Mm-hmm.
But if if we have an actual contested primary, we were talking about that last night, right before Hawk Hogan interrupted me.
Yeah.
A contested primary is going to be historic, man. It's going to be something that our generation and generations before us haven't seen. I mean, it's going to be
all these possible candidates that have not been campaigning for a year and a half, and now all of a sudden are trying to throw their name because they think they could. You think the Democrat Party's divided now?
Right.
Wait till 12 of them try and be president.
Oh no. So Ted Cruz does a podcast like a couple times a week. And so it's one of the things we were kind of listening to on the way down to the Kenai today. He thinks that if Michelle Obama decides to get in this race, that would be the hardest candidate to defeat. One, because she would raise $1 billion within a couple of weeks, guaranteed.
Did anyone notice she's not and never has been a politician?
No, of course not, dude. That doesn't mean anything anymore.
I know, but I'm just saying you need that person, the candidate, to actively be interested in politics to do it. She's not. They keep throwing her name out there and like, no, never wanted that.
I don't think she wants it. I don't think she's
I don't think she ever has wanted it.
She would. I mean, he's right though. She would be a formidable.
She gets a lot of fans, but I think she could also turn off a lot of people too.
Yeah.
And again, it just goes back to she's never shown any interest in running for dog catcher, much less any other office.
Right. I mean, yeah, hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not. But you are correct. You are absolutely correct with all that, but she would probably be the most formidable candidate of all of them if she ran, to be honest. She would. Absolutely. And she would raise a crap ton of money in a very short amount of time. They would all open their checkbooks. Oh yeah, you in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but
yes.
She hasn't been as in front of a microphone as much as Hillary has.
Correct, or as her husband has. Correct.
But I think the more she gets in a microphone, the more she can turn people off, just like Hillary did.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So it may not be as slam dunk as people are assuming,
Oh, if she gets up on this stage, she better not bring up her healthy school lunch crap.
Right.
That was absolutely horrendous to live under as a high school student. Oh, no kidding. God,
hey,
that was
don't take
horrible.
yourself.
That was, oh my God. Yeah. No, I was not a high school student at that time, but I couldn't even
I saw the photos. Yeah.
That crap. That was, I could not even imagine. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, hey, we got Margaret reholster. I think you're saying reholster her weapon.
Yeah. What'd she pull the pistol out for? It was rifle versus rifle.
Because that was, I mean, if that's the case that wasn't trained in asset protection, then that's probably what she thought was needed at the time. I mean, obviously she pulled it out and then went to reholster it almost immediately because she realized, oh crap, I got to open the door. I got to
use this hand for something else.
Use this hand for something else. There's no actual threat in the area right now. So why did I even do this? So, I mean, that was more probably just a fear reaction and an adrenaline reaction, because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it was a fear / adrenaline reaction.
Yeah.
And yes, Jill Biden, Nancy Reagan. Towards the end of Reagan's second term, he was feeling it, but she wasn't out. She wasn't out in public though. I mean,
we didn't see hardly any of Nancy Reagan except just like Ronald's arm trophy. She really wasn't much of a speaker, in charge of the room or nothing.
No,
not unlike
exactly.
Jill is.
Nope.
I mean, Jill's like Roosevelt's wife.
I actually got to see President Reagan give a speech at Ohio University. It was when I was a senior in high school, and he was campaigning for the first President Bush. So you tell you how long ago that was. But we went up to Ohio State because he was giving a speech up there. So our entire government class went up there to see that. And that was way cool.
Well,
Way cool to see the Ronald Reagan do that.
Well,
yes. No, exactly. All right. I got one thing left tonight, and that is our video this week. We actually did a video, and I came in today and I did my transition things. So we'll see how this goes. Let me pull it up here.
you can't show my video.
If you want to, we can. Absolutely. You want to show your video?
How would you snag it?
I don't know. You're going to have to email it to me. Oh, I think you.
Oh, it's on the
We can-
Facebook page.
I can show it next week if you want. How's that?
All right.
All right. So Monday, in the Karen Reed case, Monday is the day that we get to decide if there's going to be a second trial or not. That is the day that they all come back to the courthouse to decide if the Commonwealth
Going to refile charges.
going to refile charges. And
Any
so,
bets? Any bets?
man,
Magic 8 Ball says.
I bet you they do it. I bet you they refile charges. I do. I bet you they gonna, and they're not gonna do what's right. If they, the motions that they filed that they've come up and said, hey, the jury decided that the only charges that they were really pursuing were the second, count 2 and some of the the lesser offenses. They'd already decided to acquit her on the other 2 charges 1 and 3. The Commonwealth saying, well, there's no real legal remedy to do that. There's no real, but the decision to file these charges belongs to the Commonwealth, right? So if they were really interested in justice, then they would find out if the jury actually thought that and only refiled charges on the ones that they weren't acquitted on, right?
Right.
If they were interested in actual justice and not a win. But I don't think that they're going to do that. I think they're going to come back and try all 3 charges. So beyond that, we found out, or at least the rumor was, that the pieces of red and the microscopic pieces of red and clear plastic that was found in John O'Keefe's shirt was the linchpin on why they were still pursuing, and there were 8 to 4 finding her guilty of manslaughter, right?
Right.
So 8 jurors thought that because of those pieces of taillight, and the defense didn't really, when Lolly brought it up, the defense didn't, supposedly found in his shirt. Correct. Supposedly found in his shirt, as we're about to see, because the video we got is basically the evidence. This is the testimony about all that, right? This is a kind of a synopsis of that testimony. So, all right, without further ado, I'm going to hide us, and then I will be back.
Your testimony from another analyst, Christina Hanley. You'll hear her testimony in regard to pieces of red and clear plastic that were microscopic in size that were found within Mr. O'Keefe's clothing. Consistent, in her opinion, I anticipate she'll testify, with the same pieces of plastic contained within the defendant's taillight. Now, starting with item 7-18.18.
So 7-18.18 scrapings, trace material recovered from the victim's clothing.
And those particular items, as far as the debris, that was provided to your unit within the lab by whom?
I believe it was Maureen.
In addition to those, I also took a scraping of each of the materials, and that involves taking the item, using something like a flat metal spatula, and scraping down whatever adhering materials left on the item into a glassine packet.
Noted that there was some clear plastic material, as well as some red plastic material. I would have to refer to my report for exact measurements of those items.
Do we need the exact measurements? Apparently we do.
The piece of clear plastic measured
Because
approximately
we need to get back
1/8
into our
of an
dough.
inch by 1/16 of an inch.
The measurements are the sheep that we are counting.
And the largest piece of one of the red plastic pieces measured approximately 1/16 of an inch by less than 1/16 of an inch.
You've already testified to consisted of several pieces of red apparent plastic and one piece of clear apparent plastic that measured 1/8 of an inch by 1/16 of an inch. Is that accurate?
Okay, so there were several pieces of red apparent plastic and then one piece of clear apparent plastic measuring approximately 1/8 of an inch by 1/16 of an inch. Yes.
Okay. And I apologize.
I'm very
double-check
frustrated
in my-
because we have heard there was glass and plastic on the victim's clothing, but we have not seen photos of the scrapings, and that is frustrating to me. We have not seen, like, it would all be scraped into a container, and we have not seen any photos of the container.
So when those several pieces of apparent red plastic and one piece of apparent clear plastic came into your possession, those pieces were obviously not embedded in either shirt when you examined them, correct?
I don't know. I didn't examine the shirt.
Well,
Right.
So to my question,
Right.
the pieces that you saw were not embedded in a shirt when you examined them, correct?
They were not
Correct.
in a shirt.
And again, that's because you never took possession of any shirt in this case, correct?
Correct.
You have the microscopic pieces of the defendant's taillight, which was testified by Ms. Hanley to be consistent with the pieces of the taillight from the defendant's vehicle that are within or embedded within Mr. O'Keefe's clothing.
So to my question,
Right.
the pieces that you saw were not embedded in a shirt when you examined them, correct?
They were not
Correct.
in a shirt.
And again, that's because you never took possession of any shirt in this case, correct?
Correct.
Now, at any point in time were you made aware that there were microscopic pieces of the defendant's taillight as small as 1/16 of an inch by 1/16 of an inch that were found in Mr. O'Keefe's clothing?
I don't remember that specifically.
Were you aware that there were microscopic pieces of red and clear plastic about 1/16 of an inch by 1/16 of an inch that were recovered from Mr. O'Keefe's clothing that were then found to be consistent with the taillight?
No, I don't believe so.
And there was also pieces of approximately 1/16 of an inch by 1/16 of an inch of clear and red plastic that was subsequently found to be consistent with the defendant's taillight that was found embedded within Mr. O'Keefe's shirts.
Within the shirt, I believe, yes, sir. Not his actual body.
You have the testimony from Ms. Lear and Ms. Hanley in regards to the microscopic pieces, 1/16 of an inch by 1/16.
You have 1 minute, Mr. Lally. Wrap it up.
Yes,
Wrap it up.
all consistent with pieces of taillight that are found within his clothing.
I missed it, whatever it was.
You missed what?
Oh, whatever was the turn there.
Huh?
Wait, well, what's the big deal about the pieces of plastic? I missed it. What the big deal is about them?
That's what the jury was saying was causing them to
The pieces of taillight that were in his clothing
Yes.
is what some of them were saying was made them go with convict on manslaughter.
Correct. Even though there were so many things that discredited that, right? I didn't even
That's
put
what I
in there.
missed. That's what I missed. What the discredit was.
Well, the discredit was the analyst saying that no, she scraped the clothing. We never saw pictures of these things. We never saw anything. And then, this person saying
they never made the scrapings available to the defense for examination.
Right, correct. And, her saying no, that, I never saw him embedded in a shirt, right? So, I mean, just that's
okay.
It seems like if that's what you're going with after all the stuff that the handling of the evidence the whole time.
Yeah.
Still get stuck on that. But the other thing is that the defense, juries are going to jury, right? They're going to come up with weird things like this, talking to the mic. They're going to come up with weird things like this. So if the defense had realized that this was a sticking point for the jury, you think they would have tried to discredit it more? Because they never, when he was questioning all those witnesses at the end, they never redirected. The defense never redirected about that, right? The defense never tried to actually discredit that testimony, right? They didn't really do any kind of job to discredit the microscopic pieces of taillight in the clothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if the defense is going to kind of ignore that, then
they have no defense for that.
Yeah, right. So if they knew that was a sticking point for this jury, they probably would have done more of a job to try and discredit that. But instead, they just let it go, right? And so the jury went back, and at least 8 of them, 6 of them to begin with, and then 8 of them said, well,
there's probably something there.
Maybe there's something there because the jury didn't, or the defense didn't try and discredit that. So I don't know.
Seems pretty strange that they just talked about it and never really presented it.
Right. We never saw pictures of it. Why is it bad quality? Dang it. All right. I'm going to have to. All right. You said it's on Facebook?
Yeah. On the Rethink homepage.
Hang on.
Oh, we don't have to show already over.
Yeah, we're fine. I ain't going anywhere. But yeah, we never saw slide images. We never saw anything. So it's kind of hokey evidence to begin with, but it's one of those things that the jury sticks with the jury. And if the defense isn't going to try and discredit it, then
it's too bad that you can't actually question the jury. It's like, so what are your thoughts?
Right. No, exactly. What do you think about this? Yeah, no, exactly. All right. So Rethink Home. So we show here's Michael's commercial for Rethink Home. Oh, and, I'm sorry. It's Carmine Falcone commercial.
It's a hyphenated last name.
Home. Yes. Okay, we're not. Are we not hearing it? I thought it.
I'm hearing it.
I know. I'm being told it's not coming out through the.
Oh.
All right. Let me try this again. Hang on. Okay. One more try. Okay. This should hopefully let me know if you can hear it.
Hello, folks. I'm Carmine Falcone with Rethink Action News. I'm here at the studio working on tonight's segment.
Can you hear this
I'd like
one?
to showcase a few items that are ready for your purchase today. Are you getting ready to buy your daughter her first Komodo dragon? Well, this terrarium is just the thing for you. Should get you through the first 1 to 2 months
Yay,
of
we can
the dragon's
hear it
life.
now. All right.
It's perfect. We've got false hide, heating pad, several other supplies such as heating lamps and wood chips. All for you, Rethink Home. Rethink Home also proudly offers wall art, such as this item from a local artist. You don't have to wait for First Friday.
What?
You can come to Rethink Home any Friday or any day but Monday and purchase it for yourself.
What local artist would that be, Michael?
This unique glass top
couldn't read it.
S-shaped coffee table has storage compartments on 2 sides and is paired nicely with these 2 ottomans. About the same time the Alamo is being built in other parts of North America, so is this pre-Victorian chest of drawers. Beautiful shape for given its age, and it's available for you only at Rethink Home. Keeping in the 1800s, we offer you this Norris chair. That's Norris, not Morris. Has nothing to do with codes, all to do with relaxing. This is the original recliner. For anyone that fancies himself a pianist, I said pianist, we offer this 20th century, early 20th century, pump organ, standard piano, and an electric piano. For those of you that want to relax, like a mountaineer from upstate New York, we offer this lovely Adirondack chair. And finally, we're going to take you to Carmine Falcone, who's on location at Rethink Home, and he's really excited to show you their latest item. Over to you, Carmine. I'm on location at Rethink Home, where I've been given the privilege to showcase their latest coveted item, the invisibility cloak. Are you concerned about your daughter's new boyfriend? Invisibility cloak. Are you concerned about your neighbors talking about you behind your back? Invisibility cloak. No, you don't have to go to a special school in England. You can get it right here at Rethink Home.
Oh my
Can't see me,
goodness.
can you? Just one of the awesome items waiting for you at Rethink Home. Back to you in the studio, Carmine. Thank you, Carmine. That's the most awesome thing I've seen since the Browns beat the Steelers in the playoffs. It's been Carmine Falcone with Rethink Action News, bringing you the word on the street.
Oh man.
Carmine's pretty awesome.
Carmine's pretty awesome. Heck yeah, I know. I want an invisibility cloak too. I guess they're all sold out, is what I heard.
Yeah, they went pretty quick.
I can imagine. So yeah, that was Michael showing off his newfound skills of green screen, right?
Yeah, green screen.
No.
I'd been wanting to figure it out for a while. Now I'm actually glad because I have a justifiable reason for owning the green screens.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had a few a curtain, which is just like this giant sheet, and screens for backdrops and this and that, but I just couldn't find a program that I could afford or wanted to pay money for.
That would actually help me work with them and figuring out how to do this magic. And then it's a little choppy and I'm still figuring it out, but it's only going to get more awesome from here.
Oh yeah. No, I can think of all kinds of things we can use that for.
And the invisibility cloak would be neat though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
It'd just be funny walking around this green
Definitely
thing wrapped
want
around,
one
but
of
can't
those.
see me.
That would be way cool. All right. Well, thanks everybody. That's our show for this Friday.
It'd be an easy way for your daughter to never talk to you again. Just where that she's with her new boyfriend. I was just making sure, darling.
Oh yeah, what about the Komodo dragons? When's the new shipment?
Yeah, right. You know, the first time I did something with the terrarium, I made a joke about my friend Fast Eddie Flores in Kingsville, Texas, and his rattlesnake farm, and he combined those with like pit vipers from India and whatnot. And I'd have to go back to find out what I exactly said, but it was something along those lines.
Wasn't it eggs too? Or something about the
Yeah, well,
eggs,
there was
right?
the egg. Yeah, it was the eggs that showed up. And, you know, like one of them supposedly hatched, and, you know, I fired the tranquilizer gun and ruined that. And it went on and on for a bit, but people were actually responding like I really had snake eggs sent through the mail, and I had them here in Alaska, and they were asking me like serious questions about like what temperature I was keeping the incubator at and whatnot. I was like, you guys know it was a total joke, right?
I don't really have snake eggs.
I actually hate snakes. You know, just trying to sell an aquarium here.
Right. And how long have you had that dang aquarium?
Oh God, over a year. Yeah, it's taking up a lot of room, but it doesn't fit in the trash can to throw away.
No.
Yeah. I haven't even had interest in it in a while. I'm wondering why I still have it.
Somebody will come in
Yeah,
eventually someday and buy an aquarium.
Yeah, and then I can put something else in that space.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's a 50-gallon. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's about yay by yay. It's in
Yeah,
the video.
It's probably a 50. It's probably a 50-gallon one.
Except I don't think it's an aquarium. I don't think it seals for that.
Oh, I
think it's more
not. It's
an
more
animal
of
one. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Terrarium, yeah.
So you wouldn't want to fill it with water.
Well, you could. I just don't know how long it would stay there.
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah.
exactly. No, we can ship.
Well, yeah, we can ship. Yeah,
Absolutely. We can ship
I
anywhere.
mean, I ship to Dutch Harbor and all sorts of places.
All right. Well, I'll be back next week.
Nice.
Ooh.
I might get as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Oh. Got it. Oh, you have a bearded dragon. Oh, cool. That's neat.
What do you do with it? You can't cuddle, you know, you don't scratch into the chin, nothing.
Well, maybe. I don't know. It depends. You possibly could. I had a friend that had a monitor. That thing was crazy. He had all kinds of stuff this was back in Ohio. He had like snakes and a monitor and like, yeah, send me a picture. I'll share them with him. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I used to, yep, I will check it out. Okay. I'm going to go sit by a fire and talk to my buddy for a little bit. So
nice.
You guys have a great night. And yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday. I think we'll do some more streaming, have some fun and, see what happens. Monday should be interesting. So we'll probably catch up on that on Tuesday. So, all right. Everybody have a wonderful weekend.
Rock and roll.
Wow, I can't talk now. All right, thank you. And we will see you next